Hey guys, and welcome back to another sunny day on Car Talks. Now today is going to be slightly different, and we're going to talk about my car behind us and its full running costs. I think it's a nice bit of information, so if any of you are interested in buying one, it's nice to know how much everything costs. We're going to get a closer look. So we're under the hood here in the BMW M3 E92. A lot of you probably don't know the true running costs of a high performance car. This isn't a supercar, but it's a high performance sports car. So even as simple as tossing up the oil, a litre of that, generally I put that in the car every month, every couple of months. That costs for 1 litre £12.50. I mean, I generally go through Euro car parts, but if you went through a petrol station it is a lot more, but I tend to get mine Euro car parts because they tend to do some deals on and we get more bang for your buck. 10W60 oil in this car with insurance on this car for me, and obviously that massively differs depending on your age. That is, for me, it's about £450 to £500 depending on the premiums that year, and depends how much you can knuckle them down. But for some of you who are maybe a little bit younger or looking for a high performance car when you're early 20s, you're probably looking at probably £1,000, but that's fully comprehensive, and obviously it depends on how many years no claims you've got. Insurance, I find a funny thing, because I learnt this on one of my other cars that I had. It only covers you for what you have down in writing, so if you have a fully comprehensive car, doesn't mean you're fully or third party on any other cars. Or anyone's insured on your car. You need to have it in writing on your documents stating that you are fully comprehensive and you allow other people to drive your car, and vice versa on their insurance documents, so that you are covered in black and white, and I find that is crucial. So I've actually got my official invoice from BMW here. If you look here, BMW doesn't want to focus, but okay. The servicing came into with VAT is £71.25, so you probably don't take that into account, but this is just a visual health check, which offers you a video. They send you a video via email, do the service itself. They give you a document like this which gives you a rundown of all the costings, and then your subtotal plus your VAT. Generally, if you're not sure, just give them a call, query them on it, and they'll give you all the information you need. This is just a visual, but I mean, obviously if it's got a major service, that's probably going to cost you £200 or £300. And plus if they got to change or add anything, that's also another charge on top. So take these things into consideration, because they do add up and they're not cheap. But if you're going for an expensive car, things are expensive, and this is just on the tip of the ladder in terms of expensive vehicles. That is all I have to say on the servicing part of things. On the front here I've got Continentals, and they are the 19-inch 245 35 R19s. Generally, if you're going to look online and get a Continental like this, it's going to probably cost you between £180 and £200 for one tyre. And on the back they're 265s, also 19-inch. They're going to cost you more than likely around the same figure, but if you're going to go for a run flat, they generally cost a little bit more, so you're looking probably more like 220. But I'm sure there's deals out there, or people you know that have garages which can give you better deals, but that's generally, bear that in mind. You can obviously get lower grade tyres. These are Continental, so they're rather expensive, but you can get more basic tyres which probably cost you about £140, £150, and that for me includes fitting and wheel balance. Various other places don't take that into consideration, or sorry, some places don't offer that. So if you're considering getting new tyres, get them balanced. So this car, I would say, isn't the most economical for a sports car. If you're driving it carefully, out of a 63 litre tank would generally get 200 to 220 miles out of the tank. That's on sort of a good average. But if you're not driving and if you're driving and you're in a bit of a rush, I would say it would cost you more like, sorry, I said that wrong. You'd probably get more like 170, 180 miles out of the tank. So if you do the math, that's not very good. It costs me, with a normal 95 unleaded in the UK, it would cost me £65 to fill it up. And if I was to fill up with the 98 or the super unleaded or the V-Power that Shell provide, that would be in the 80s or 90s. So it can be economical if you want it to be, but this car isn't generally designed for that. As you can see, car tax. Everyone loves a bit of car tax. So this isn't a brand new car, but it's a high performance. It's got a lot of emissions on this car, but generally it's going to cost you, I think for the 6th month that gets offered in the UK, it's a 303 for 6 months, and for 1 year, so 12 months, it's going to cost you £590. So if you're going to go for the long haul and you're going to keep it for a couple of years or the whole year, it's better off you're going to be doing the 12 months. But if you're going to be keeping it for only a few months and trying to sell it or trying to flog it, I would recommend, for cash flow side of things, doing it for a 6-month period. And that is the latest tax figure I have, as I have recently just taxed my car, and it is fully insured, and it's also got its MoT. So MOTs generally in this country is between £40 and £50, so it's not too bad. General inspection services for this car, I would say they're well, it depends what needs doing, but generally a general inspection, so that would be them going over various things in the car, that would be about £200. But if you need engine work or something along those lines, you're going to be paying a hell of a lot more for, because one, BMW, the labour cost is expensive in the UK. Welcome back inside the BMW E92. Now, it's been a while since it's been on the channel, but I thought I'd give a rundown on basically costs and little tips on what I found is to keep the car running in good shape. So I was mentioning about the tyres, the oil, but people sort of do tend to forget about these things, and they think, oh, it won't be that big a deal. But in a car that's got high performance, it will give you a sting on the other end if you forget about it. Like this car, if you do forget to oil and you do forget to do the tyres, in terms of changing the rubber, not the rims, the rubber, tyres do cost you a lot of money if you forget to pump them up. So one thing I did mention, and I showed in the sidewall of the door, shows you obviously how much pressure to put in the tyres. If your under pressure runs flat, which has only happened to me once in this car, but I managed to make it to my friend's garage and got a new tyre put on it. But if I had not done that, I could have potentially ruined the rim, which would have probably cost me upwards of £500 to £1,000 for each rim. I could have done the suspension in if I was running at speed, which I have no idea actually how much that would cost, but I would assume that it would cost into the thousands of pounds, because you'd need to, or if the suspension went, you might end up doing the front of the wing, the costing of doing that, and then the suspension itself, plus the tyre, plus the rim. So it's amazing how quickly things do add up. but it's just a safety precaution if anyone is interested in buying a car like this. And it's good information for me. Like, for instance, if I was going to go and buy a new car, which I might be doing shortly, or not today, but in the near future, I would want to know how much it costs to tax it, or how much it costs to run petrol, how much it is to fill it up, how often it needs servicing, or like this car only needs servicing every year because it's not a super high performance car, and I don't do that many miles in it, so I'm quite fortunate that way. But if I needed to know how much it costs for tyres is a good one, because we're using them every day when we're driving and they do wear out. So there are a couple of pointers I put out in the video where you've got pointers of, oh sorry, pointers, wrong word. You've got little warning signs or things to look for on the tyre. They've got like little ridges on the tread, which if you went to any car dealership or more like a mechanic's garage, they'll show you if you're willing to ask. These things, they're good sources of information, and passing them on to other people, little bits and pieces here and there, they do help massively. And that I found has, if I'm passing on to someone, that other person might be able to give it to someone else. So in doing so, this is just basically one whole circle of good information, which I can't see as being a problem to pass it on, because I'm not actually advising anyone to do anything. All I'm doing is saying this is what I've learnt from what people have told me, and this is the information I'm going to pass on. So for that, I am also grateful for, because when you're doing your own maintenance for your car, forgetting these things is very easy. Is this supposed to let me go? Let's put my foot down. There we go. Easy. Yeah, so running costs, they try and keep them as low as possible if you're looking for a short case, quick, fun car to have. But if you're looking to having this car for the long haul and you're not bothered in costs, then just watch the video anyway, because it's always a good source and it's car fun and it's always enjoyable to listen to. No engine noises here today, but I hope this video has actually been a good source of information, because I always find, or found, whenever I'm looking for a car, it's good to have these bits of information before I go and buy it, because obviously you don't take into account always the tyres or the servicing, but even the taxing of the car every year, or even 6 months in the UK, it's a good source of information. Well, that's what I find in my eyes. But for me, I get on with it. It's a car that you're going to be having fun with, as it's an M model, and people, if you see online, they have lots of fun in it, which I do too. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you enjoy it and find it's a good source of information, comment below, because giving comments below make my content better, and I want to see what you want. But also, don't forget to press that red button and subscribe below. Much appreciated. That's all from Car Talks. See you next time.